Oh, what's going on, gamers? 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is your, maybe not, but maybe your favorite Big Brother commentary show on the airwaves.
Woo!
Woo! It's a beautiful day out. It's a wondrous day. I am your host, Chris, just Chris, and I am joined with, as always, my lovely assistant partner in crime.
Tis I, Mole.
Hi, Mole.
Hi. I can't wait to be splattered with blue dye today.
Did we find it? I don't think we found
No!
it.
No, it's the wrong one!
I think we found the fake money.
And that's how my hair is blue.
Yep,
That's the story of what happened. I stole money, but the wrong money. And now I'm blue.
blue, bluified.
Tis I.
When are we not bluified? It's been crazy week in the Big Brother house. I'm getting ahead of myself. Obviously, this is a Big Brother commentary show. I just said that, but of course, going back over the rules real quick. We talk, we I can't even go past T. Usually I just pick a letter and make words that like pertain to speaking about Big Brother, but we talk about Big Brother. I don't have any other T words that
To
mean talk,
discuss,
discuss,
to speak about,
to speak about. Yes.
to Big Brother.
To Big Brother. To to brother. To Tig brother. There we go.
Right on.
Oh, it's been a crazy week. Once again, of course, obviously. Let's get right to it because we got a lot to cover today and maybe a little less time.
Perchance.
However, jumping straight into it, Sunday was a pretty uneventful day. We sort of started off with a little bit of Jimmy fallout because rest in peace to Jimmy, I guess.
Diva
Um
down, diva
but
down.
Eva down.
Ugh.
Um that was Mole's draft pick. So,
Thus I wear chef hat of shame.
you are
I'm a
not.
have not.
Yes. Mole is shame, and I am partying because Jimmy is gone. Do the crab rave now. Uh,
Crab rave over Jimmy is
crab rave.
crazy.
Jimmy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the only people that were really affected by it were like Rachel um and Ashley a little bit, sorta.
Should...
Will, kinda.
Nikki!
Well,
Nikki's okay, she's fine. But also, Jimmy Jimmy did a live stream for 2 hours. I paused everything I was doing for 2 hours because Jimmy was on live. And first of all, the most pressing question was, did you know that everyone hates Riley? And he's like shook because the house thinks that he's a top contender for America's favorite player. And then the other thing was, are you still going to talk to Mickey and Morgan after the show? And he's like, after everything I've been hearing, I think you could I think you could make your guesses. So he was loyal to them and now he's out of the
yeah, but he
house.
wasn't.
He wasn't. I feel like at the end of the day he still would have been for them.
Yeah.
But
I
then the two of them were like so obnoxious in the HOH room that it like got personal that he's like, we're gonna talk. And that was the gist of the live stream. And that's the Jimmy fallout outside of the house. But yeah,
Outside.
Riley for America's favorite player.
Wow. Wow. I
Let's
guess
move on before I
that's
rant about
a crazy
that.
statement. We did get a little bit of um like plotting, but nothing super serious. So let's move straight to the HOH because it was an interesting one this week to say the least. We got the Jack the Dipper.
Yeah.
Jack the Dipper was dipping his chip all in a bunch of dips, and
Mixing up
everybody
all the dips.
double
You
dipping.
started with three dips, and at the end of the day, you have three bowls of the same dip. Just mush. Mush. Triple dipper. Sorry. So like
Triple Dipper.
triple dipper.
I need
I'm Big
one of those.
Brother.
I need one of them.
Need a triple dipper.
Triple Dippers.
After this week, we deserve a
Yes.
triple dipper.
But yeah, so we had the Jack the Dipper. They had to guess. They did it in 1v1s. It was pretty funny to be honest, because Rachel was so like mad. She was like, "These newbies." How many times did she say "these newbies" this week, by the way? Because it was starting to get real angering to me. The
She's
amount of time.
starting she thinks she's the only one with brain, and she may not be wrong because they don't understand. Half the competition is getting the answer right, and the other half is strategically picking people. And
Well,
Riley starts with, "Who won it?"
but like I can understand where that's coming from because also at the same time you don't want to ruffle any feathers. So if somebody just wants to get up there because it's round one, you know what
This
I
game
mean?
is designed to ruffle feathers, and if you don't
Well,
want to, get out of the Big Brother house.
understandable to be honest.
Like, I do get
Jack
it.
did the exact same thing.
Hmm.
So
Just followed suit, you know. He either didn't want to do it or he's like, "Oh no, maybe this is how it works." And then Rachel's just like, "This is when you show your cards." And there's a whole bunch of people that, I mean, as we knew coming into the season, they're like, "I just want to chill out until jury." So if your mindset is, "I just want to chill out till jury," of course you don't want to show your cards. You're going to keep them too close to you, so close that you don't even know what your cards are sometimes. And then you get out your allies. Continue.
no, you're so right.
I'm gonna get
Because
louder. I'm gonna scream like Zach in the diary room. That's what's happening right now.
Mole is on a ticking, she's ticking.
I'm
The
gonna
um,
I'm
the
implode.
is ticking. Um, but moving on with this competition to save Mole explosion. Um, so everybody goes, and at the end of the day, it is the next day. And we get the most unexpected HOH of all time, Ava.
She didn't even
Winning this
expect it.
competition. It was completely not her fault, because it was the final two in the competition was it was down to Will and Ava, and I honestly was okay with either or. Because I mean, I know that both of them want Keanu's head on a stick,
Mm-hmm.
but Keanu is more locked in than them. So whoever else they want to send home, feel free because I really have no attachment to anyone in this house anymore except for Keanu. And he's just gonna go up regardless every week. So I was okay with seeing the Ava HOH. And initially, after the dust had settled and we start talking game, her first guttural reaction for nominations is between Keanu, Vince, and Ashley. This was the big thing all freaking week. Keanu, Vince, and Ashley. Ashley was her number one target. And then Mickey's like, "Hey, I don't really want you to do that." And she's like, "Well, I gotta listen to my people, and my people are telling me that they don't want Ashley to go up.
Which is really interesting because, well, this is where I was on fire even before the show, so I'll just bring up the little smoke and not the just the ember of then Mickey's like Ava, what are you doing? Ashley is a number for your side. It would be ridiculous to get rid of a number for your side. Someone who's even remotely rooting for you and protecting you. But anyway,
Well, I have wow, that's a little nostalgic. That,
wow.
it's almost as if that just happened.
Because
You're gonna
because
start exploding.
but I will refrain.
Don't explode.
But
Please.
the a week ago when we had our show, I mentioned at the point that we were talking, I already knew who the HOH was. What's pretty interesting is I'm really sure by the time feeds came up, because they don't come up right away, usually, except this upcoming week. I saw the necklace immediately. But we don't but I'm getting too ahead of ourselves because
Oh
we're on
wait,
last
for this
Sunday.
week.
For the
This
upcoming week,
oh
for week 6, but we're
no,
still on 5.
we're still on five.
Point is I saw the HOH a little bit into settling in. And by the time feeds came up, it was pretty much not going to be Ashley on the block. Like I saw very quickly Ava was talking to Rachel, like as soon as she got her HOH room and Ashley was not mentioned. So this conversation happened so quickly. Like she won. Yay! Don't put Ashley up, please. And that's like the timeline of it,
Wow.
as far as I know. Yep. So very brief Ashley stint.
So this was from this week past.
Yeah,
Or
like right as
right
Ava won
after
HOH.
April. Okay. All right.
Yeah, the conversation with Mickey. No
Yes.
spoilers, I promise. For the spoilers, at the Diary Room WMSC on Instagram. Proceed. I won't blow up now.
It's okay because now we're gonna talk about more of your favorite players. We got a probably the first real alliance that has ever been honored for longer than 2
2
episodes.
hours.
Yeah, I mean it's lasted longer than every other one that's been conceived in an episode and forgotten about for the rest of time. Um, so I feel like there should be maybe after the season ends, we can go back and see how many times those lost alliances got mentioned. A funny little statistic battle because maybe the Burger Boys were mentioned like like once or twice.
And
This
mostly because the burger analogy. It's not even because of the strength of the group.
and so this alliance in question is between Mickey, Morgan, Vince, and Zach. Um, and it's called the Melting Pot. And it's a pretty cool ragtag gang of players. Solid bit of numbers too. It's not a super alliance, so I'm always cool with like a little four person tango, you know what I mean? Because like we haven't gotten any alliances like at all
Yeah.
this year. So it's like, okay, sure. Like if we're gonna honor a small one that doesn't just immediately take over the entire game, because we're at the point in the game where you need like 6 votes, 5 or 6 votes.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, there you go. 4 people, that's already 75, 80% of the way there. Um, so it's definitely cool to see, but am I super favorable of the players within the alliance? That might be another question.
A couple weeks ago, maybe I was.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, me too. And then everyone kind of went on their own villain arc. This like except for I mean, well, actually,
There's no exception.
Yeah.
There's no exception. Because
Uh,
even if like the only reason that you think that there isn't a villain arc is just because someone else's was more prominent. Mickey.
ah. Alas, at least we have a real alliance. That's something cool to show.
I hope it lasts for a long time
We won't last for
and
a long
no
time.
members go on the block or home. And then we'd finally have an alliance this season. That'd be a shame.
Anyways, that was all for Sunday. Besides the nominations, of course, um, because but right a little bit before the ceremony, the whole thing that happened with Mickey and Will happened, where Ava is talking to them, and they're like, "Hey, you should not put up Ashley." And Ava's like, "Man, I really want to put up Ashley." And they're like, "No, you can't do that. You shouldn't put up Ashley." And then she's like, "Okay, maybe I shouldn't put up Ashley because you guys are my friends." And then she's like, "Well, who do I put up instead?" And Zach is the only other person in the house. Maybe Riley, which I don't know why Riley was never brought up. Um,
This house likes to protect Riley. People think he's a great guy. We can't put him up. They also are afraid to break up the showmance. It's far too early. I don't agree, but I think that's the mindset of the house.
ready to break anything up in the Big Brother house.
And so, let me in. Pull
Ah!
me back. But I mean, Will is the one or Abe one that brought up Zach, and then Will and Ava are close. We don't have too much time to discuss the Ava Will hanging out in the HOH room, but they finished that whole wine bottle in one night, and I love that for them. But I think since Will brought that up, it's like, well, this is so. This has got to be it. Um, and those are the noms. And I'm glad that it's just not Will. I mean, it wouldn't be because it's Ava's HOH, but
Yeah.
something off of the beaten path. But don't
I
worry, we
did like
still
the
got
noms.
Keanu.
That's true. I did like the noms this week because Keanu's gonna be there regardless. Vince is dead to me. After what happened during Lauren's HOH, that just kind of like made me a little blah. Uh,
Yeah.
however, moving on to Wednesday, because actually I do want I can touch on the brief moment where Zach just yelled at Ava because he was angry. That was kind of funny when he was like, "You told me I would be safe, and now I'm not safe." And she was like, "Sorry."
I aspire to be as chill as Ava. I also understand because she did say he's safe,
Yeah.
and then to not be safe, it's like, w what happened in between there? She didn't warn him. Maybe she should have. But loud Zach DRs are incredible. So
And
thank you,
now I
Ava,
would be
for
safe.
prompting that.
And now I'm not safe. And then perfect segue into Wednesday. More Target talk. Um, when Ava's very terribly lied meeting with Vince, where she's like, "Hey," Vince is like, "Hey, who's the target?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then
But it's
his
not you.
it's he's like, "Well, I don't think she said that," because Vince is like, Or maybe she said that like briefly, but I just remember distinctly when Vince was in the diary room and she was like, she's chatting a whole lot, and I don't believe a word that she's saying. And Vince is a smart guy, so obviously he sees right through it. But I don't know. He's just a better person than me because if I was in that situation, I would probably crash out or something and be like, why are you? I would be so terrible at lying in this game. Not
Yeah.
lying, but like knowing when I'm being lied to. Especially again, like dealing with people like Ava who are just like you can read her like a book.
Mm-hmm.
I would hate it so
Because
much.
I'm pretty sure she was like, "You're not the target," and then he's like, in the diary room, "I know I'm the target," and then it was like, "Vince is my target," and it was like pretty obvious. I feel like Vince has done a decent amount of crashing out every single week before the HOH because, like, in front of the HOH or in this week without one-on-ones, the HOH is best friends. Um, because he has damage control to do with everyone, trying to be friends with everyone, and he kind of manages to mess up just at the wrong time for that HOH. So I think that's how he held it together because he gets a brief 1 hour a week to say, "I'm done crashing out," and that was that.
But either way, I think that the whole lead up to the veto on Wednesday was just very silly. Like we
Yeah,
had a whole lot of shenaniganery. Um, there was that whole thing with Will hiding in the bathroom.
I was so glad that we got to see that. That was so silly.
Like Zach and Ava are talking upstairs. But little does Zach know I'm the reason why he's on the block. So I'm gonna go hide in the bathroom. And then they had the very unused bathroom cam.
That was funny.
They
I was
actually
like, I've
showed the
never seen
bathroom
this.
cam. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I mean, the
I'm sure they're
um
there for like emergency purposes, but like,
yeah. I've seen the there's a camera in the bathroom downstairs, like in that tiny room with the toilet itself, that I feel like I've seen once ever on the show because of something happening. And I think about it all the time. Like if I was in Big Brother, I'd be so weirded out that there's a camera in the bathroom. But yeah, like in emergencies, like I don't think it's ever activated. And in that case, in the HOH room, it just kind of moved so that you could see the top of the stall. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the only space in the house that is unreachable is the HOH shower.
really?
So, so I've heard. I think that's the only place that is relatively safe, but not the toilet stall, apparently. Seeing his head like peeking out over, that was so funny.
Like
And
Fred.
like I know I have been saying how much I really want Will content. There's it's every time we see Will, it's been a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This moment was fun.
I feel like he gets his fair share of screen time,
Oh, for sure.
especially this week.
Yep.
We're just like showing him in his antics more often, I feel like. So thank you, production. More Will
Yay!
content, waiter, please.
Thank you. We want to be
More
fed.
Will, I want to see as much Will as you can cram in my episode. Thank you so much.
Maybe
And
next unlocked could just be Will moments, please. Every other week is just Big Brother unlocked colon Captain Will.
Captain Will edition,
I hope so.
remastered, a Ultra HD. Um, anyways, so moving on from Will, we get a little more insight into something that I actually forgot about. Zach's power. When he mentioned it on Wednesday, that while he was talking to Ava, I just like forgot. And he was like, I actually have this power. I don't remember if he said anything about it on Sunday after he got put up. He might have, but I don't usually watch those after diary room portions, especially if it's like really boring nominations and like nothing happened. So maybe he did say something, but I probably shut my TV off. And
Like, this is not important for
it's like,
me.
okay, whatever. And
Be on the
then,
block in slow-mo, see if I
yeah,
care.
exactly. And then he, so he brings it up again on Wednesday. He's like, I actually have this power. And I was like, wow. I forgot. And then I also forgot that when he uses the power, they give the money to the HOH.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Well, I don't want to give it to Ava because she just stabbed me in the back." And like, sure, obviously. And she also just won $5,000 from the veto competition. By the way, forgot to mention that. That was a nice veto competition, but
Yeah,
we'll get to that. Um
that we
I have
shall.
I have a lot of thoughts about the veto. I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just the funny moments were fun. E. But yeah, so Zach's like, I don't want to give the veto to Ava or the $10,000 to Ava. Naturally, I wouldn't want to give $10,000 to my hater too.
That's fair. But
Like,
also, if it saves me,
you're so right.
I, you say you forgot about the power. I never, I've gone no
No,
days
no
forgetting
days.
about this power because we were ranting so much about how unequal the powers felt, only for the power to then actually still be unequal, but on the opposite side. Also, I don't
Yeah.
remember it ever being the BB buy off. I don't
Well, I think it's
remember it
because
being.
of the theme this year. Like crime and like mystery, and it's
But I
like,
don't
okay,
remember it being titled that
bail
until
your way out
like,
of jail or
ugh.
something like that,
Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Clearly doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Ugh.
Um, but yeah, regardless, I don't really I I I'm not gonna say this now actually because we'll get to it. We'll get to it on
And this
Thursday
is what happens when it's such an aggravating week where it's like, I want to talk about this now. I need to yell about this now. We shall get there.
because now I'm gonna say something else that you're certainly gonna yell about.
I'm just so passionate.
I know. It's the next thing I have is the little bit with Mickey and Ava. Didn't you have a great time watching that?
Oh my god. My draft is awful. It gets worse
Crap.
every
That's
second.
worth every week. Because yo entire side is dysfunctional.
And like, I'm still up, but
We
not.
actually just drafted like both sides of the house. I don't think we realized. I don't like know if you realized
Oh my gosh.
that like our drafts are like the two sides of the house.
We're so good. We predicted the
That
house.
is crazy. I don't think we talk about our drafts very much, but we did a great job this year. I mean, last year that was pretty fragmented. You had a lot of Team Mackenzie, and I had a lot of Team Tucker
Mm-hmm.
and like Team Chelsea, but like they were also sort of together at the same time, and it's like okay. But this time we're basically like point for point. Like you got Ashley, you got Morgan, you got Ava, you got Mickey, you got Jimmy and Amy. I guess Lauren exists. You can't really count her.
That is quite
Uh,
simply it. I have one outlier.
yeah, you have one outlier, and that's good. I have literally everybody else beat for beat on the other side.
Well, well,
Oh, except Cliff or Will.
if I think we both have one outlier. If we switched Vince and Will,
And they're literally at I we drafted them in the same spot, by the way.
we're just so good this season. These people were way too predictable, and that's a lie because it got worse. I could not have predicted this week or the week before or the week before. But yeah, no, that's so funny.
About the week after.
Look at us go. Terrified for the next week. Oh my God.
Don't be. It's gonna be okay.
One can only
I don't
hope.
even want HOH. But Mickey goes to Ava and she's like, "Hey, girl. Um, so Morgan." And Ava's like, "Morgan, I need a target this week." "What? Morgan? What did she do?" And then Mickey's like, "Well, she kind of is like she's got her what was her reasoning for it? I don't 100% remember. It was
I what I wrote down from my brain. So Morgan tells Will and Ashley, of all people, for some reason, that she's upset about the nominations of
Mm.
Keanu and Vince and Zach, which isn't too surprising because I mean she's
Yeah.
close with Zach and Vince. And then Ashley and Will immediately go to Mickey, and then Mickey goes to Ava, and then makes Morgan a target immediately.
Yes.
I don't know what Mickey thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, because Ava was really mad that she was mad at the nominations even though she's not the HOH. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, how can you be mad about the nominations if you're not even on the block?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I can see. I'm that's certainly a fair observation, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just felt like a harmless comment.
It was harmless that she made to the worst people, therefore it made it harmful.
Yeah.
Like, you can be frustrated about the nominations and not be on the block, obviously. I'm frustrated about things and I'm not even in the house. But but like to say it to to if people think that Ava didn't like Ashley, clearly they should understand that it's not as bad as it once was, considering Ashley's not on the block. But I think it's pretty clear that Will and Ava are working together. So to say to Will, I'm really upset about these nominations, you think that's not going to get back to Ava? Maybe I not necessarily would have guessed the channel of it going from them to Mickey to Ava, but no matter what, why would Will not bring that up to Ava? The thoughts are not there. They're gone. They're with the 10K. Not used. Continue.
And so we come to the veto competition, and we get to pick players, and I believe it was Catherine and Will, right? Yes, Catherine and Will,
Yes.
because Will played and he wasn't on the block.
Yes.
I was like thinking for a second, I was like, wait, Will was there, but like he wasn't on the block, was he? No.
For
Will
once.
actually got picked, and along with Catherine. And Catherine goes into this competition with a mission. She's like, I need to show everyone that I'm not Riley's pet. And girl, play your own game, please.
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 And that's why she got. They really. You could have predicted who won Power of Veto, considering they were showing more of Catherine.
Yes.
Like,
I was
oh,
thinking, I was like, man, like they've done this. They did that for
with
HOH
Lauren.
too.
Yeah.
Did that for HOH. They had Ava's whole segment, the thing, her monologue about war,
Oh my gosh.
and they
Yeah.
had that right before the HOH competition, and she said something about how she needed to win HOH so she could get like a letter, and then she won HOH. But before I saw the competition, I was like, man, I really wonder what's gonna happen. Like, I have they been like doing this behind my back? Now I need to like figure that out.
Oh yeah, they're not slick.
So they've been showing the people who have been winning right before the competition, saying something about how they need to win something.
I mean, they also show everyone who loses saying, I have to win this competition.
Yeah, which is like why you never know. But you did
Yeah.
it twice in a row.
Well,
So
it's also because we're still at a point where there are still so many people in the game, And this most notably happened with Lauren's HOH because, again, going into the episode, I already knew that she won. But the problem back then, a whole 2 weeks ago, was that
That
people didn't know who she was. And so they needed to push a little bit more of her in like the couple minutes they had before the comp to be like, yes, America, root for this girl because you totally know who she is. And then they did the montage of everyone going, who is this? And I kind of thought it would be funny if they did the same thing with Kat, but alas. But either way, they had to remind us of who Catherine is. She's an individual,
she is a
not
real
just on
person.
on Riley.
They did have that little moment with them though oh wait. Yeah, no, they were showing like that little moment with Catherine and Riley beforehand, and she was like, I need to be my own player when they were sitting out on the lawn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this was it was the slide the disc competition where you slide it across the table, but with a twist. The board went away, so they couldn't see where they were throwing to, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed, certainly a fan, and they also played. Do they usually play with the prizes on this competition?
On the sliding competition?
Yeah. Oh
Not
no.
not that I remember, but
That
I
seems
liked
like
the combination.
yeah. So, the prizes included, obviously, Will was first out, so of course he gets the veto, doesn't keep the veto. Then Keanu fell second, um, which was very surprising. Or actually, was it? No, it was yeah, no, it was Keanu, because he got did he get the butler right away? Yes, he did get the butler right away.
Yeah,
It was a punishment called the butler.
the
Where
butler.
it was really it's honestly really funny.
It was really
It
funny.
was really funny. And then Zach got out and he got a trip to London in which he gave to Will in a nice little moment. He gave it to Will and Will was like, "Oh yeah, he has my vote."
Yeah,
And he got it. He got it.
he did. Shout out
And
Will. That
shout
was
out.
sweet.
That was really sweet. I really liked that moment. Everybody was like, "Oh my God." And it was the one place he hasn't been. Like he's been everywhere, he said. He's like,
Yeah,
"I've been everywhere, but I haven't been to London." So
and he could bring Gwen.
bring his chocolate drop. And so then Ava got out and Ava got a punishment, the twin thing or whatever,
The partners in crime.
in crime, and then she took Zach's punishment. Or
Well, he had the POV
oh yeah, he had the
at
POV.
that point.
Yes. And then so she took the veto and gave him partners in crime. And then um final two was between Vince and Catherine. And Catherine wins. Catherine won, and by golly, Vince's freaking like
He tried.
he's like like his the way he talks to people is creepy. Like I could never say no to this person. Like if
Also dressed up in
oh
like that is like I think they made all the
most
costumes for Vince this season. It's because of the mustache. He just like in that other comp where he's like stealing from a bank from the movie comp, it's like, oh yeah, he just looks like a robber. He just looks like an old-timey
now he looks like an old-timey detective.
detective. Soon to be an egg-timey detective.
Egg-timey detective. And he still looks right in that costume too.
They built everything for him.
Um And then so Catherine decides to take the veto anyway because Vince tried to pull a little thing on her by taking the veto from from Ava and giving her $5,000. And then Vince was like, please take the $5,000. Just leave me the veto. And Catherine decided not to in the end. She took the veto, and Ava got $5,000. So who's the real winner here, Vince? Definitely not
Not
you.
you.
Definitely not you.
Poor
Uh,
Vince.
so Catherine then has a little moment with Riley in the storage room, and they're like, "Oh my God, we won! I won! I'm actually not a bot." And and then uh there's so much stuff that happened, bruh. There was then we got all the costumes as well. We got all the costumes. The butler, when Keanu had to do all of he had to make pigs in a blanket for everyone from scratch, it seems like. Like, well, not from scratch, but like they gave him the dough
Yeah.
and pigs, and he had to still wrap them and bake them and everything, which is still like enough. Like he didn't have to make the dough and everything, but still. Um,
And they put it on his butt.
and then he had to serve it on his butt.
The butler. I the whole week, one of my favorite side rant, my favorite movie of all time is the Lego Batman movie. And there's a part where Alfred has to guess Batman's password to his computer, and it's like Alfred the Butler or something like that. And then Batman just like giggles. So the whole week this is happening, I keep going, Keanu the Butler. Hee hee hee
Oh,
hee.
man.
That's been my phrase of the week. I loved this costume. And I
Yeah.
loved the other costume.
The egg.
The egg is so much
Egg was
bigger than I
funny.
thought.
It was so funny. Or not Keanu. Vince had to put on an egg detective, and he just looked right at home in that costume. Don't really know what to say. He really rocks a silly costume.
He was built for this.
It was built for all of them. And
Oh my god.
then we also had Zach and Rachel do theirs, which was our previously aforementioned blue joke at the beginning of the show, where they had to steal money from a vault of like a bunch of bags, and they had to find 4 bags of real money. Every time they found it was like it was like a whole bunch of bags, like a lot. This was like Angela picking up the radiation last season. It was they were in for the long haul.
Yep.
So they had to pick a thing out, and every time they got guessed wrong and grabbed a bag of fake money, they had to get splashed with a big freaking of of blue.
Mhm.
Blue just went all over them, and then take their mugshot and go to jail for how long?
For until they're told to leave.
Until they're told to leave.
And I
So
think it was never consistent because they
yeah,
fell
I
asleep
was yes, they had
multiple times.
sleeping bags. And by like 5 a.m. they finally finished, and they got all of the real ones when they started like in the afternoon of the previous day.
Hmm.
And we also had a little blow up between and Morgan and Rachel, where Rachel was like, "You can't be a newbie and tell me what to do and not worship me." And she just got mad at Morgan for not kissing the ground that she stood on.
Well, wait,
Um,
is this the pantry conversation?
yes, where she was like, she misheard what she was trying to tell her, and she started getting super mad at her over a misconception on her end. Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about,
Ugh,
actually.
cause cause I understand both sides of this conversation.
I also understand Rachel's side of this conversation. But even like, well, not even if, but obviously she's not saying that to you. Obviously, she meant it as like, yeah, like once jury comes, like, and then she was like, you better be freaking darned if I am not sitting on the final two chairs.
I
Why are you like, what is, for what purpose? For what purpose does this conversation serve?
I think that this conversation, if anything, shows us the huge difference between Big Brother 13 and Big Brother 27. Because it's so strange. Like again, I watched Big Brother 13 in real time. I was like 9, so I don't remember it. But I do remember the chaos, the crazy one-liners, the like there was so much happening, and there's so much playing it safe in more recent seasons that I barely know what it would be like for any of the house guests to play differently. And it was insane that this was the epitome of the comparison between old school and new school as far as I'm concerned. And I
Yeah,
loved that we have someone who's daring enough to be like, what do you mean you're going to take me to jury? I'm getting to the end. And that, in a way, is kind of not too far off from Keanu being like, I'm going to pick you guys off one by one. And everyone's horrified. But, like, yes, that's the goal of the game. The goal
yeah,
is to get everyone out one by one. The goal is to be in the final two chairs. And Morgan just messed with the wrong person who Rachel, unlike everyone else in the game, maybe the exception of Keanu in this example, she's not afraid to say that. Like, don't you dare say you're taking me to the jury house. And I like it. Admire that because everyone else is just like smiling and nodding. You said before that you would crash out if you were Vince and Ava's lying straight to his face and he's not. Old school Big Brother would have been like a blow up. Now would that have been good for his game? No. But it would have been fun to watch. And
yeah.
that's why
I also
Rachel's still fun
don't
to
like
watch, but
the Rachel speak because she's so pretentious. Like it would be one thing if you're like Angela bad. I keep coming back to Angela because she was the perfect villain. She was the perfect villain
yeah.
because she wasn't like a like evil in a pretentious way. It was just like she was just trying to rage bait everybody and everybody knew it. It was so painfully obvious.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Shout out Angela.
shout out Angela once again, always. Um, so Catherine at the veto meeting, finally, we have made it, decides to just not do anything because she's like, I've proven myself to be a competitor, but I'm not going to use the veto anyway. Even though it was really looking like she was going to use it on Zach for a second. And Zach also thought about using his power because obviously, but he decided not to
I'm gonna freak out all over
because he
again.
thought that Morgan would go up in his place, and he didn't want Morgan to go up in his place over him. Which I don't know. Ooh, maybe get better alliance members or something. I don't know.
I
Aren't you
can't.
literally in an alliance with? Aren't you literally in an alliance? Like what?
So, like, Catherine seemed really excited at the idea of Morgan going up. And then she doesn't do it. And I'm disappointed in that. And then I thought, that's the worst it gets. But no, it gets worse. Because then Zach doesn't use his power. And at this point, yes, he brings up that, oh, if I use my power, then there's a good chance that Morgan went up. Is it that you don't want Morgan to go up, or is it that you don't want to give Ava 10K? Which is it? Make a decision. Or is it that you thought you were so safe that you didn't have to use it? And this is where
It's probably a mix
and
of all three of those things.
I think it's either those or yes, I think he thought he was safe, and then he realized that's really dumb. I'm on Big Brother, and Marcellus, and so you should use the power of veto on yourself. But I didn't do it, so I have to justify it. Here's an option. Here's another option. And then what happens is he gaslight himself into believing those reasons. That's what I'm convinced. That he's like, I don't need to do it. I could just save it for another week. And then he had to justify it, and he justified in his brain so much that he gaslit himself into thinking, "Oh, I'm saving more again." You just wanted $10,000,
Bro just wanted his bands.
but not
Not
750.
not 750. Would he really have made it that far?
Not with decisions like this.
That's true.
Mm. In a week where there could have been 2 vetoes used, I wouldn't want Ava to go through that. But it would have been really good. None? We got nothing? Wow, Catherine, you really proved a lot to this house. Sorry, I am very Zach in the diary room this week. I am pumped.
Zach in the
I
back.
am other P word.
Ah,
Ah!
truth. But Butler.
Alfred the Butler. Oh my god.
Um,
This game.
so moving on to Thursday, because that's where we were at. Um, we we got a little bit more content um from Vince in his egg costume. I remember that or initially.
Oh my
The
god.
case of the block something. It was a really dumb name. And then they had that whole montage of him walking around the house campaigning.
They're just spicing up his normal campaigning.
Yeah.
Because you can't show his campaigning in all seriousness when he is a gigantic egg. It's moments like these where I remember I can't easily convince people to watch this show. They'll turn on the TV and there's a giant butt,
There's a giant butt and a big egg
a
on the
big
couch.
old egg,
What are we even doing here? Look at
and
my
blue
piece
goo.
of dog.
The show, man.
Look at my show, man. What are we even doing?
This is what I devote my summer to. Please listen to my podcast. Oh, what's it about? Oh no.
Anyways, a lot more game strategy talk. A little bit of Ashley involved this time.
Shout out Ashley.
Definitely not. Well, shout out Ashley, I guess.
Screen
I
time.
guess.
More than Lauren.
More screen time than Lauren. Well, who's Lauren?
Who?
Who?
I can't believe she was a whole HOH.
That was a whole HOH ago, and now
And
I
there's
forgot she existed again. However,
good for her.
yeah,
Under the radar.
sure,
Whatever.
whatever. I mean, she
Whatever.
won something, so I guess that's cool.
Slay, I suppose.
I suppose more than Ashley has ever done. But Ashley decides to approach Mickey. Well, not decides because everybody's trying to figure out what's going to happen now because the votes have been solidified or the nominations have been solidified and now all that's left is the blockbuster. And everyone's like, okay, now what? Because there's 3 real big targets on the block. And I feel like people were ready to keep Keanu. I guess we can talk about the the um the outcome of the blockbuster at the same time to have a little more hindsight in this discussion because we were talking about we or the house guests the house
We
guests
are in the house.
yeah, of course we are because we're in the diary room right now. What are you talking about?
Always. We're
Oh,
actually in the secret third diary room in the basement.
third one. Yes. And everybody was speaking, and it seemed like they were ready to keep Keanu if he managed to be on the block by eviction. Because I guess they just thought that they either thought that he was gonna win, or they thought that they would want to keep him over someone like Vince, which honestly makes sense. Vince is the most dangerous player in this game at the moment, and I don't think
Yeah.
anybody knows that.
Rachel
Um,
does.
Rachel knows everything according to her. So, I mean, I guess she's not too far off then if she knows and everybody doesn't. But I'm sure everybody does know now.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
see right through that egg
Everybody
now.
everybody sees Vince now for who he is. And he's got his hand Abe was right. He's got his hand in too many cookie jars. Is that a bad thing? Not for the individual, but when the whole house knows,
Yeah.
it
That
most definitely is a problem.
that was really funny because they didn't even originally show that. Like in her nomination speech, on the Sunday episode, they didn't even show her like outing Vince,
Oh yeah. And
which
he did that. She did, but
yeah. So they had to like backtrack and be like, "Oh, we gotta show this," um, which I think is funny that it's like, well, yes, now go scurry, egg,
yeah.
go egg, do what egg do. I don't know.
Roll. Roll
Roll
egg.
about.
Roll egg and roll he did. Straight to the BB blockbuster. Um, but it was not him who won. It was Keanu, GOAT. I watched this episode at like 2 a.m. last night. And I just got up from my seat. I walked around my coffee table and I was whispering GOAT over and over again because nobody else does it like Keanu.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm not that kid. I'm his number one fan. You know that kid? He's really funny.
I do
The
not know this
There's
kid.
this kid that Keanu's mods found and he like reacts with his mom to the episodes.
Oh,
Like repost his reels with his
oh,
and he loves Keanu, but I'm his number one fan. And I was from the jump, so
this is
sorry.
true.
I
I,
was there first. I picked him first, so
I will say my thoughts are I like Keanu. I never hated him, but I wasn't rooting for him.
I
And we're so back. He was so locked in to this
so
comp, so slow, like
I'm
the
terrible
same.
at those things, by the way.
I would like to think I could do a good job, which means that I would do very poor.
It was one of those things where it's like you have the beads and you have to pick them up and move them to one of the other poles and you have to color coordinate them, but you can't put them on the ground. You have to move them from another pole to move up one and you can't stack them too high and stuff like that. Um, and Keanu ended up slaying the competition. Moral of the story,
Slay killed it,
killed it.
actually.
Just like this killer break that we gotta take.
For real.
For real. We're gonna do that. We gotta go take a breath. I'm a little close to explosion.
Explosion. We don't
Explode.
want that. We got to take a deep breath.
Be right back. Ah,
Ah!
where were we?
We're
I had
so back
took a deep breath because I was exploding.
at how we think we would have done in the BB blockbuster.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like those little mobile games. They
Yeah.
look much easier than they are.
Games. I think they look really difficult actually for some reason.
Hmm.
My brain doesn't like maybe with enough patience could figure it out, but I don't know. It just seems very, very difficult.
I think I would have instinctively put the pieces on the ground.
Yes.
And production would have yelled at me, Emily, don't,
Oh,
don't do that.
no, no,
No, no,
no,
no, no. Julie Chen just yells at me. Like, I'm
no.
sorry, I forgot. I forgot.
Ignore the rules, Julie. Um,
But
so
slow and steady wins the BB blockbuster
yes,
and vetoes.
and veto, and every other competition for some reason except the HOH.
Ugh,
Ah.
ugh, what the heck?
Anyways, I wanted to mention that before we talked about the strategizing because it seemed like everybody was ready to send either Vince or Zach home over Keanu, who sort of stopped being the number one target. He's just kind of like on the block. And I guarantee if the opportunity ever presents itself, like he's the scapegoat. Like if nothing bigger happens to paint a bigger target over somebody else's back, he's just guaranteed going home that week.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he continues to be uh, goated or unproblematic, goated and unproblematic, not or,
Mm-hmm.
gotta be both.
Yeah. He's gotta be both, that's true. 'Cause yeah, I think to the week prior when it was Jimmy versus Kelly. And again, as much as I think it was kind of ridiculous for Jimmy to go home on Mickey's HOH, I don't deny that Jimmy should go home because of the way that he's playing the game, because of his social game, and he could be a problem down the line. But at the same time, this was the very first time you got to see Kelly on the block, which meant, she's won all these vetoes and all these blockbusters, and she is a threat, and yet they didn't take out someone who is really good at comps and has been keeping herself in the game, and they had like one shot. I don't know when they're going to have it again. And I wonder if Keanu ended up on the block that night, if they would have actually taken that shot or not. And at this point, I think he's been on the block for so long that he's in the same spot as Kelly, where it's like, well, we should just keep him because we could just throw him on the block the week after. And so, which is the bigger shot, Keanu or the other person that he would have been against? But it doesn't matter because he saved his butler behind, and it doesn't matter where the vote would have been because
He just got off the
he
block.
just did the thing. He locked in so hard, and that's the other thing with the blockbuster is it's so easy to be frazzled, and I think that is the way that you lose. That's how the infamous Caitlyn puzzle of like BB20, where it's just like you have a timer, you psych yourself out so much that you don't lock in. He's got it. Because what does he have to lose? The game. But he's used to being on the block anyway.
Yeah. He's always got the game on the line, as they
Yeah.
say. Um, and I feel like that's also a reason why people want to keep him around because if they gun too hard for him, they know that winning is in his vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
And if they win and they gun too hard for him, then they're gonna be his first target if he ever wins HOH. And
If he
the
ever locks in then.
and then the force of I feel like he's gonna be the if he ever does win HOH, praying he wins next week. I know you know, don't say anything. And if he ever wins HOH, I think he's gonna be the first person to actually have a target and get rid of them. In a clean and neutral manner that is intended from the start of the week. I'm sure that at this point in the game, with the people that are left, I don't know, maybe he'll come back for Rachel, but even though their
They're kind
relationship,
of on the ups right now.
yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say they've been mending a little bit, but I mean, who else is he gonna send home? Like he has a number in Riley and by extension maybe Catherine. Um, I feel like I don't know, maybe he could get like Ashley out. I would probably think Ashley would be his main target actually. But I'm just hoping at this point, this is just straight cope. 'Cause he hasn't won HOH yet, so get to
Yeah.
find out next week. However, now it's time for the votes because it's between Zach and Vince. And they walk down the stairs and they do that weird thing where they're like,
Oh my God.
they do it every week. When are we gonna change it?
When are we going to improve?
Why can't we just have the winner just come down the stairs and be like, "Hey
Woo!
guys, woo!" And then everybody would be like hype and stuff. Like, what?
Not this week.
Not this week. Never. They're always buried in like the middle, and he's like with his head down.
It's
Okay,
so
but that's
awkward.
also Keanu's like aura too. Like,
Yeah. But
like
they're making them act. It's cringe. Dare
it,
I say cringe? I don't enjoy it. But yeah,
it
that is just his aura. And then their reaction to him winning the veto, it's not much different right here where everyone's like, "Oh,
wasn't as bad though.
well, no."
I'm
Well,
sure they
yeah, because
like
then he'd deliver an incredible one-liner and destroy them all. So hopefully they just learned what's good for them and they didn't just have absolute silence.
I can I can I won again. Hey guys. And he was just
Oh.
standing in the background like while Vincent and Zach were like hugging people and like making their deals in their ear. Zach, every time he walked up to somebody, put his ear in or put his face on their ear like perfectly in the same position every time. And you couldn't hear a word he was saying. It was just he like hugged them with one hand and he was like the Godfather, like talking to talking to the person.
Hmm.
Wonder what he said.
He said, "Please, please, 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 please,
Please,
please.
please, please, please. And
I wish
well,
I
it
had a
doesn't really
power to
matter.
take me off the block right now." That's what he was saying. Which I have to bring up too, that on the feeds, he looked at the cameras and he said, "America, if you have the chance to give someone a power, if you're voting for someone right now, I could really use the help. Help a boy out. I'll keep my shirt off for you." Like, this is what he's saying. Like, "Oh, America, if only
That's
there's
kind
a power."
wait, he says that after he has
He had this power. I don't remember if it was before or after he decided not to use it, to be very honest. But at some point this week, he's like, "America, if you wanna help your boy out, bro."
Oh, you literally have the power.
There's only one power in this house, and you've got it.
You got it.
And you're gonna want another one if you're not gonna use the first one, whatever. And so he's probably thinking that that's what he's whispering into everyone's ear. "I wish America gave me a power. Please, please,
Girl,
please,
you
please,
had
please,
one.
please, please, please." That's what he was whispering.
I
Sorry.
digress.
I shan't digress. I'm more. No, no, continue.
Excuse me. Excuse my whatever that was. And so
I'm freaking out.
now it's time for the vote. And I'm sure Vince is out of his mind. Vince is like, I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. And then everybody votes. And Zach was lied to. What? Um, somehow, some way, he even Morgan voted against him after he told her his power, and that he used it specifically to save her. And she went in the diary room and she was like, I feel so indebted to Zach. I have to give him my vote. And then you just freaking vote against him because you don't want to vote with the house or against the house?
No, no.
That's kind of messed up.
Well, I think the root of all these problems is that he didn't use the power on himself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I still don't genuinely think that he didn't use the power to save Morgan. Sure, he said it, but before that, he also said he didn't want to give 10K to Ava. Which is it?
I'm sure it
And
was definitely both. Because it could.
it
It
could,
could.
there's multiple reasons, yes, but
But
it
it's
just
not.
didn't come
But
off
it's
as sincere. And so this whole game so far, Morgan has seemed to be so blinded by Zach because, I mean, she's had a crush on him this entire show, and he's had a crush on Lauren, who could kind of care less. And obviously with the vote too, she could care less. I I'm glad that Morgan did this because I think, yes, I'm gonna contradict myself because I'm like, she's playing her own game by getting rid of Zach, but at the same time she voted with the house, so it's kind of a contradiction. But I think I'm glad that she voted Zach out. But it's also because, and this again, I'm talking about Zach as a character on a show, not him personally. I am so glad that he's out, quite simply because he's proving the point that if you have a power, you use it. Because even Morgan voted you out. So good for her.
Yeah. At least he
Zach,
got
I hope you learn.
two, I guess. I don't know. He didn't walk out with nothing.
Yeah, thank goodness he's got his 10K.
Thank good he's got his 10K.
And not even a vote from Morgan. And then he got 2 votes to stay, and only one of them was actually for him to stay. The other one was just because it was more of a vote to get Vince out than for Zach to stay. Sorry, I told you I was gonna get so loud.
I literally understand where you're coming from because you're so right.
Oh, come
Not disagreeing
on.
with you at all. I also don't really care for Zach that much.
I mean, I was
Or
kind of
upset.
neutral on him.
Yeah, I was neutral on him too.
He
I
was in a
don't not
great spot
like,
last week.
yes. I don't not like him, but out of all three of the people who are gonna be on the block, I would have liked to see Vince go, but he's just like he is indestructible at the moment. Um,
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants, for some reason, their minds just change on a whim. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess we want to send Zach home now. Last minute, like what? I don't know.
I think too that if it was between either Vince or Zach against Keanu, it would have been easier for people because Zach and Vince are in some way the same, where they're still aligned with the same people. They have similar games because the week prior, Zach was also really well aligned with everyone, to my knowledge. Clearly not Ava as much. I don't think they were I don't think Ava was necessarily an enemy of, or thought or saw Zach as an enemy, but she recognized that, yeah, he's well placed in the game, and it was Zach and Vince on top, essentially, in my eyes, in the same spot. And yeah, Vince just ends up coming out on top. That egg do not crack.
Yeah.
Also, have to mention that if Vince got evicted, he would be in that egg costume. I don't even know if that would have fit through the door and on the little stool with Julie.
Yeah, what would have happened?
We'll
Guess
never
we'll never
know.
know because he lives to see another day. Um,
But we do know what happens when Julie Chen disapproves of your actions. You get smacked on the head.
was that in the post interview?
No, well that was when he left the house and she did the couple questions. Did you not see that? She smacked him with her papers. It was so
That
funny. Like Zach is voted out, leaves the house. Everyone's crying. You could hear everyone's heartbeat in the mics. Goes out and Julie starts interviewing him, and then she's like, "Can you lean forward for a moment?" And he's like, "What's going on?" She smacks him with the paper that's in her hand. She's like, "Why didn't you use the power?" And I
watch it.
love when Julie has moments like this where she goes off
Oh,
script or she
no.
goes silly.
She is so silly.
Let Julie Chen be silly. Give
I
her
don't
the
think that
time to shine. Give me more Julie Chen silly. Give me more Captain Will. This is what the mole demands.
I think this is what the diary room demands.
For sure. But, I
We're
mean,
into the road.
ugh,
There's still so much Big Brother left, Mole.
I'm so tired.
Are you tired?
Yes.
You're tired of your side turning on each other?
This is. Um,
My side is locked in. My side is locked in.
your
Just
side is locked in.
we are someone on I think somebody on my side is winning. I think out of all I have more people who have the potential to win on my side than you do.
Well, I'm not out, but it's not looking so great right now.
I was trailing all season last season, by the way. Just wanted to say. I'm down a pick. I'm very much down a pick.
Hmm.
Uh, it is 2-3, and you're missing Jimmy and Amy, and I'm
Hmm.
missing Jack, Adrian, and Zay.
Hmm.
But I'm not out. I still have the GOAT.
No, I have the goat. It's Ashley.
I still can't believe she was your first pick.
I don't know. I envisioned something very different from what
Yes,
Ashley is now.
I am literally right there with you.
Hmm. And I was so like we're back on Lauren's HOH rooting for Mickey and Morgan. I'm like, oh, these two are great. What a fantastic duo. They're gonna go so far. And then the bleh, the bleh. And my team is a mess. And for listeners and viewers like you, I have Ashley, Vince, Morgan, Ava, Mickey, and Lauren. And so when we say that Chris is down but not out, it could not be more true. Because I've got one disaster of a draft pick, but I am also not out. And truthfully, I love the fact that it's kind of back and forth because I don't want it to be the worst outcome for me would be if like all of one of our picks just out immediately, like in succession,
Yep.
and then we just know who wins. That would be so boring.
I feel like so here's another thing. I think I mentioned it earlier, but we have perfectly predicted, well, almost perfectly predicted
Mm-hmm.
order in which everybody would be leaving too, because Zay, Amy, Adrian, Jimmy, and Zach all left in succession, and they were all the bottom of our picks.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Lauren, who is still here and was Mul's
Somehow.
last pick. She's only still here because she doesn't exist.
She's
So
hiding in one of the bunk beds right now.
she's somewhere in the house. I don't even think I saw her once this week. Maybe during the
The one time I saw her
veto
that I
actually.
remember was on Thursday when Zach was evicted and she's crying on the couch and giant egg Vince is patting her head. This is the moment I remember for Lauren this week.
This, the egg father.
And that's again where I don't know how I could convince people to watch this show if they haven't started already.
Yep.
But yeah, Lauren
I
also voting out potential showmance, but it didn't seem like she was really giving that much time anyway.
I was So my point with bringing that up was I wanted to bring up the fact that the next two on the chopping block are Mickey and Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those people have a real shot of leaving the game next week if they don't win.
That's true.
Yeah. Mickey is kind of at the bottom of the totem pole in all of her alliances because she kind of made an enemy out of all of her friends.
Yet thinks she's running the house at the same
That
time.
thing running the house at the same time. You're so right.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine is one half of a showmance.
And maybe they'll start waking up and think it's not too early to get rid of a showmance.
I love how we just refuse to call it a showmance and now it is. Because it is. But they just never wanted to officially state it.
Well, because Riley was just like staring at Catherine, and that's not a showmance. Just like deep into her soul. And yet there is none within him. And then they started showing that it was reciprocated, and it's like, okay, fine. This is a showmance, whatever. It's not lasting outside of the house because Catherine's mom or stepmom is like, no, I will not have this at all. But clearly, like I said before, according to Jimmy, the house has a completely different perception of Riley. The good majority of the outside does not like him. And inside they're like, "Ooh, we like him." And now they're together and they're smooching in the bathroom all the time.
Ava in the bathroom.
She just needs to use the toilet.
I'm
Just
sorry I interrupted a cuddle sesh. In the
to
bathroom?
use
What?
the only bathroom? Get out, please, please.
Leave.
Let me use the bathroom in peace.
I would rather see Riley go first, though. Of course. If somebody had to go from the showmance, I would much rather see Riley go first to see if maybe Catherine can change her game up a little bit. Uh,
Hmm. That's
maybe
true.
maybe she'll be able to make friends outside of Riley.
Hmm.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Only time will tell.
You know who HOH is this week, right?
Maybe. And so will you soon
Soon.
on the Sunday episode. I don't know anything about the comp. Actually, that's a lie. I'll say one thing. It was not the wall.
Really?
A lot of people thought that it was the wall this week, and I thought I was going to be staying up all night on Thursday, and the feeds were down. And in years past, they have shown the wall competition on the live feeds, and so I'd be very disappointed if they didn't. I hope they still do.
Well,
And so that was not the competition, but I don't know what it was. All I know is who won and who came in second place. And if you somehow avoid spoilers, to my knowledge, it'll be a nail biter.
I didn't avoid spoilers for the HOH this week, actually. I don't know if I told you. I was literally watching the episode, and it was actually from your post on the Diary Room WMSC. I Instagrammed a little too hard
Ah,
about Ava's album because she was listening to Beatles.
this is true.
Great taste. I mean, I could already tell that she has good taste. So, of course, but I read Beatles and I didn't see Ava, but I was like, okay, it's definitely Ava.
Oh, I see.
Like I might have caught a small glimpse of her name, but like I just scrolled right past it when I saw the album and I was like, it's definitely Ava.
Ah, well,
No
whoops.
spoilers this week.
No spoilers this week.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it before I get spoiled, I swear.
I did put, for anyone listening, I don't post spoilers on the Instagram. I
Oh yeah,
always
no, it
have
wasn't
a
there.
good
I always watch
little cover on top saying spoiler on next slide. But once the episode airs and the information is out there, I'll get rid of that silly
much
slide.
it was much later. We do not post spoilers right away when they happen or like whatever. There was a lot of courtesy taken into account here. I just watched this show super late in the week because half the time I end up watching every episode on Wednesday night. I watch the HOH and the veto back to back usually. And then like Thursday or this week I watched the HOH and then the veto and the eviction back to back. I always usually end up watching two episodes back to back at some point.
It'll happen. The show's a lot. And then
Not
again,
get
we
spoiled.
don't really address the Friday episodes because they're just kind of bonus. But the weeks where there's a Friday episode, it's like, whoa, I gotta sit down and watch this for a while. But it's still fun. Um, what's not fun is this tweet I'm about to read for funsies. Because Big Brother Live on Instagram, I get a lot of updates from them. Shout out to them. They tweeted, Catherine tells Riley she wants to slow down. Riley says he wants to be with her for the rest of his life. And, quote, you have every piece of me until I leave this earth. Then cries with no tears.
Ladies and
um,
gentlemen, this has been the Diary Room. I think we should leave it at that. Um,
Thank you.
you just met her. You just met her like 3 weeks ago.
I mean, okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, I'm not gonna go into the rant. I've already yelled far too much in this episode. Moral of the story: don't be down bad for someone you met like 2 weeks ago. And if you've got a power,
Use it.
use it. That's the moral.
And wash your hands.
Please wash your hands. And use the toilet correctly. And don't smooch outside of it.
This has been the Diary Room. 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Thank you so much for coming and listening. It has been another wonderful week. And we got another wonderful week coming straight to you.
Oh yeah.
Tonight. Getting it started with that HOH. Socials. Diary Room. WMSC. Instagram. YouTube. Spotify.
Your heart.
Secret fourth option. Your heart is the fifth option. The secret fourth option is still secret.
It's Vince's egg.
Inside the egg. There's a little TV in there. He watches us when they have a special diary room screen if you
That's the punishment. You have to look at my face.
have to watch us. But anyways, you guys, you're beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's yap again. We'll see you next week. Same time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.